Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 9:49. Our panel members today are Ms. Pearl Wise, Mr. Pete Freeman. My name is Tony Marabella. I'll be acting as chair. Our next case is Ms. Charlene Norris. Ms. Norris, would you please introduce yourself and give us your DOC number?
My name is Charlene Norris, and my DOC number is 635369.
Thank you, Ms. Norris. Let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record. Then we're going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the conclusion of that interview, you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to the board before we vote. Do you understand our process?
Yes, sir.
This is the matter of Charlene E. Norris, DOC number 635369, date of birth November the 16th of 1952. She's classified as a second felony offender. She has a parole eligibility date of December the 5th of 2023, an adjusted good time date of April the 23rd of 2025, and a full term date of September the 24th of 2041. She is currently serving a 25-year sentence on a number of DWI offenses, a fourth offense, three-fourth offenses, and a third offense. Is that information basically accurate, Ms. Norris?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Norris, your case has been assigned to Mr. Pete Freeman. He will begin our interview process. Would you please answer any questions he might have?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Norris, how old are you?
I'm 70.
Okay, and how many years have you served on this charge?
Since 2018. And so that was 5 years,
Okay.
5.5, almost.
All right, and you have a total sentence of 25 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your educational level?
2 years in college, up to I was a sophomore, and I did not complete my sophomore year.
What are your triggers, Ms. Norris? What causes you to drink so much? I mean, you have a long history of DWIs. I counted 7 different arrests on your rap sheet. What causes all this drinking?
I was reared. I accept responsibility for it. I was reared in a very strict home, and I was not allowed to, for example, wear pants. Of course, and no dancing, that sort of thing. As I got in high school and then on to college, I wanted to, see what I was missing out because, well, I'm a preacher's daughter. Other preachers' daughters could do those things, and they seemed okay. And I didn't date very much, and I didn't seem to have a social life. And whenever I was a little bit later on, I was in my early 20s when I did finally drink.
Okay, but
And
when you finally started drinking, it looks like you couldn't quit, right?
No, sir, that was very sporadic until I moved from Pineville to Nashville, Tennessee, and then I started drinking at that, more so, or drinking. Really, my first glass of wine was in Nashville.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
For 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. How long did y'all date?
6 months. We had gone to Louisiana College together, and when I moved back from Nashville, I was we saw each other, and anyway, we dated the 6 months, and he asked me to marry him.
Okay. Did y'all have any children?
No, sir.
Your last DWI arrest, that was in 2018?
Yes,
Then you got revoked, I think, in 20 or 21 or something like that. Probably was far prior. What kind of treatment have you received?
I have been to a number of treatment centers. When I have gotten 8 years during that period of time was when I was fed up with my life. I knew that I was not comfortable. I was not being myself, and I hated the fact that I was depending on something to make me feel better because I enjoy life. I have a very pleasant outlook. I have a heart for God, and I had not had to use a crutch ever. And I was just using it as I feel, a way to blend in, but then it started to make me feel better. Everything was better when I had a drink. And of course, that backfired really bad.
Well, how can you assure us on this board that you won't have a drink when you get out this time?
What I can tell you is that I have today to live. I woke up this morning grateful to be alive. And this is every morning. I can't believe God's even spared me to even get to be 70. I'm so grateful. Love the gray hair. I don't feel that I deserved it, but God's grace, I'm here. And I want to see each day count. I want to give back years that I have taken from myself, from my family, from friends. I played in a lot of churches as well as other music. And I've just, the Grand Ole Opry, gotten to travel about a third of the world. And God spared me and has brought me to this point. I feel like it's for a purpose, another season of my life. But I am.
You had told me how, why should we believe you're going to quit drinking? I'm glad to hear that you live every day and all of that, but how are you going to quit drinking?
I have quit drinking. Of course, in here was the beginning. And I have no longer have any kind of desire to feel different. I hardly drink coffee. I want to be me. I feel good about myself. I have a Heavenly Father that loves me, that sustains me day to day. And I have nothing, I never always had, okay, I'm stammering. I didn't like the idea of depending on something else or someone else. Plus, I knew in the Bible it talks about not drinking as into excess and wine. My goal is to live the Christian life as close as I can, and am aware of. Therefore, it does not fit into my style of living at all, or for me to drink at all.
Okay. You look at law enforcement and both judges had no comment. The district attorney is opposed. Sheriff Mike Cass is unopposed. Unopposed is the Sheriff Mark Woods spokesman. You had no comment from the state police. We got no comment from your family. Where are you going to live? What are you going to do? And what is your sobriety plan?
Okay. I have been told that more than likely I would go to a rehabilitation nursing home for a while. My sister, I thought that she was speaking with you all. I have only one immediate family member, Shirley Spencer. She's in Savannah, Tennessee, and with a very sick husband in his early 80s. And it was her plan to come. She was unable to come due to that. And so that is my knowledge to this point. That's what all I've been told. And
Okay,
it's
but what is your sobriety plan? How are you gonna stay sober?
one day at a time.
Well, what is gonna help you stay sober one day at a time? What are you gonna do?
Well, God does that. Their Celebrate Recovery was a great place for me to gather with other recovering alcoholics and with the same minds, like hearts. And I did find a lot of help there. Went through a lot of being an adult, moving back from Nashville to Pineville, Alexandria area. It was not probably the very best thing, or I did not make a good decision in that. So, well, let me rephrase it. I think it was a good decision, but I was not ready to give it up yet. I was my problem. No one else. The strict bringing up, the discipline, not getting to do what other people, kids did, that was not the problem. I was the problem.
Okay, what could have been the consequences of all this drinking and driving? You ever think about that?
Oh, yes, sir. I could have, well, number one, I could have killed someone else. A number of other people, could have killed myself. Could be brain dead from accidents. I have some liver problems as a result. Let's see, it's called what is it? Cirrhosis of the liver. As a result, I've been told that if I drink one more drink, that I could just write myself off. I have some physical problems, and they have improved. But if I drink, I can be picking out the color of my casket.
What is your health diagnosis? Maybe you can help us with that, Warden. What is a health diagnosis?
She has a couple of different medical concerns that we have. She is currently living in our infirmary medical ward, but she has adult failure to thrive, some protein and calorie malnutrition. She does have the cirrhosis of the liver, degenerative disc disease of the lumbar spine, and she's also diagnosed from a mental health standpoint with some dementia and dysthymia, which she is receiving treatment for. And I can elaborate a little bit for Ms. Norris. We have spoken with and corresponded with Capitol Oaks Nursing Home, and they have agreed to accept her for housing if she is granted parole today. Her sister, we do correspond with her sister, and she does have a relationship with her, but like Ms. Norris stated, she is elderly and does have a sick husband, so she would not be able to care for her medical needs. So we have, obviously, like I said, spoken with Capitol Oaks, and she would go to a nursing home if she's granted parole.
And what was your job at the prison before you got in the infirmary?
Well, I played piano for the Catholic services, and I did not have let's see, well, I did general. I mostly sat because I was not able to, I was just sick a lot. And that was a toll that the alcohol had taken on me, plus what I already had. And then I added fuel to the fire with alcohol. And so it's taken this long for me to be able to, with therapy I can walk some and, I have a desire. I've been active in my life, outside, tennis, running, skiing, water and snow skiing. And I love to exercise. I love I like being in shape. And it's more pertinent for me to be in shape mentally and heart-wise than it is, I realize, body-wise, but it goes together for me, goes hand in hand.
Okay. You have 0 write-up, which is great. You're medium custody, low risk, moderate needs. You've taken numerous classes. We kind of touched on them a little bit. Are you in AA over there?
Not in here. I have gone some, but I cannot take it's very hard to sit there with the language, and it defeats everything that I'm hearing, and they're calling on God as a higher power. And in the next breath, I'm hearing, I've never been around cursing, even being in the music industry, or just a word here and there, but this is rough language. And I did better not going to AA. I'm not going to say, it's been a while since I've been active, of course, in church, but I've been going to church. But I study myself every day. And I love to read. And so I read things that are positive. And I'm reading a commentary now, Thomas Nelson's commentary on the Bible, Old Testament. It's fascinating to reading, but that helps me know my heritage from the beginning, as well as you do wrong, you pay for it.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Warden, I've got maybe 1 or 2 questions. Capital Oaks Nursing Home, is this something we anticipate to be permanent, or is this temporary?
No, this would be more permanent housing. We've set up Medicaid, already started that paperwork process, so it would be more long-term.
Ms. Norris, you're an interesting person. I show that your first arrest was in 1999 for your first DWI. You said you took a first glass of wine. How old were you then?
In my 20s, early 20s, or middle 20, like early 20s to middle to 25, say. I 23, 24.
And on previous incarcerations, you've taken some programs, very good programs, Living in Balance, Celebrate Recovery. They apparently didn't work, but you've taken them again while you've been in this time.
Yes.
And perhaps the light is now come on. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I now, okay, if I'm understanding what you're saying, I've had enough. I'm not throwing any more of my life away. God might as well take me on today. I'm no good in that light. I'm going to once again kill somebody, kill myself. I've just blown every reputation-wise, my character, all of that. And now I want to go back to the person that people respect and know that they can talk to and be solid. And
you're in a wheelchair, right?
Yes.
Is that how you did it? Are you ambulatory? Can you walk on your own, or do you need the wheelchair to get around?
I can walk. I'm walking a little bit more every day. I'm exercising every day. I work with a therapist here every Wednesday. And so I'm getting that back. And I'm excited about that, and because that helps me be whole. I would accept, and I accept what God's grace, period, because I'm alive. But I'm ready to go, to the next level, so I can be able to help somebody else. I can be an inspiration to someone else.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your comments.
Is this a compassionate release? There was some confusion in the file, boy. Do you?
It is not. No, this is
not.
regular
Okay.
parole. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. That clears it up. That's all I had.
Ms. Norris, is there anything you'd like to say to the board before the board votes?
I appreciate the opportunity that you all have given me, that LCIW has given me, to allow God to work in my life, and for me to do my part. I have to do my part before God's going to do anything further. I appreciate you all being the balm in Gilead. I have found there's a lot of things that go on I don't understand or never heard of or seen or whatever. I have been blessed a lot more than I've been stunned. And I'm just grateful that I've been given such a loving and disciplined place to heal. And people are so real and willing to help you. But I have to ask sometimes for help. I'm having a bad day. Can you listen? Or I can be the ears that somebody's listening to, because I'm really feeling so much stronger. But I know my strength only lies within my being humble and my realizing I cannot do it myself. But one day at a time, I can do that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Norris. We appreciate your comments. Mr. Freeman, board ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ms. Norris, I listened to you and in your mind, I know you're very, very sincere. Problem is, I'm not hearing, no sobriety plan. The Lord is great. I believe in God myself, but you need something else. They put you in a nursing home, but you can walk and you can drive. And if you do that drinking and driving again, and you don't really have the support that you're going to need to stop you, then what happens? Somebody dies. My vote today is to deny.
Thank you. Ms. Wise?
Ms. Norris, I've listened to you as well today. I am inclined to take a chance on you because you're going to be in a nursing home. You're going to be in an environment where you, I think your prognosis is good, though. I do think you are going to improve because of your own grit, your own willingness. But my vote is to grant to the nursing home residents only, and you are to have no outside trips or visits without prior approval of probation or parole. So it's like you have to stay there. Anything else you want to do as your health improves, you have to clear it with your parole officer. And I think we're going to ask the parole officer to send to the parole board. That is my vote.
Ms. Norris, I've listened very intently to what you had to say. I'm sorry that you don't think AA is a way for you to go. I do understand the concerns that you've expressed, and those meetings can get rough at times. It appears to me that you have taken some of the better courses that we have in substance abuse. Didn't help you the last time, but it certainly seems to have helped you this time. I think probably your medical condition has a lot to do with that. Cirrhosis of the liver is a very significant and serious disease caused by alcohol. And you seem to have a handle on that now. My vote likewise would be as Ms. Wise. My vote would be to grant to the nursing home with the condition that you not be allowed to leave there without parole supervision. So that would be my vote. Is 2 votes enough? Do we need all 3?
Yeah. She's done everything, probably needs.
Yeah, she's got some college.
Yeah.
Low risk assessment,
Yeah, she got low risk.
and she's done substance abuse.
Yes, she celebrate recovery and live in balance. Okay. You have 2 votes to grant your parole to the nursing home with conditions you not leave without parole supervision or at least authority to leave. So your parole has been granted today. So good luck to you, Ms. Norris.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just say, I will go to AA there. It was here. I've gone to AA all of my, in Nashville, and then here. I have attended.
Well, I would encourage you to continue to go to,
Yes, sir.
hopefully in the nursing home, it'll be a little more tame than it might be where you are.
Yes, sir.
Morton, thank you very much for your help. I believe we're done, and we'll be adjourned at 10:15.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh,
You
you
too.
too.
This is one of the most unique cases that we've covered, I think. Let me just keep it up there. I mean, I'm blown away. I'm a little bit speechless why Mr. Freeman would make a decision then to say, I don't want to take a risk on you is I don't get how he would do that. She's 70 years old and she's being sent to a nursing home. You know, I get the idea. It's just what's so fascinating about this case. You know, I really would like to see her get up in front and tell the story of her life to Soft White Underbelly. You know, it would be titled The Preacher's Daughter. And to go from what was her incredibly strict childhood life, not having her first drink of wine until maybe she's 23, and then finding herself in prison with really what is a life sentence. A judge gave her 25 years at the age of 65. A judge did that. And it's just, we've seen people get less time for having vehicular homicide. And we've seen people get 7, 8, 9 DUIs and get less sentences. Why a judge felt they had to give this 65-year-old woman a 25-year sentence, I don't understand. Now, I do get DUI. If you're an habitual offender, it's incredibly dangerous, right? Every time you get in that vehicle, it's just as dangerous as it's the most dangerous things that you can do, and you have to protect society. But it's still beyond me. 25 years. It doesn't make sense. And then just the way she's talking, she's like one of the most pleasant and beautiful, like soul, kind of like just chill, kind people I think I've heard just talk. There was no anger. There was no resentment. There was no frustration. There was none of that. It was just, she's grateful for the facility. She was grateful for all the opportunities, grateful to be alive. I mean, really, it seems like she's going from one prison to another to be in an old age home. That can't be pleasant. I just can't imagine that is going to be pleasant. And, you know, and she's so, like, imagine you find yourself one day locked up in a prison And we know the type of felons she's locked up with. I mean, it's the worst of the worst. And here she is, this preacher's daughter, who seems to kind of have like her head in the sky a little bit, and where the vulgar language in AA is just too much for her to handle to even attend. You know, on the flip side, it was a bad interview. Since she didn't check all the boxes, she kept talking about spirituality and this and that, and you know, her health versus she didn't follow the rules of saying she's gonna get, you know, she's gonna basically like you know what they want to hear. You're gonna get a sponsor, and you're gonna go to programs, and you're gonna go to classes, and you're gonna do all this stuff. She, in that sense, she flunked. But maybe that has to do with her onset dementia. I don't know. But even then, she's like, no, I'll go to AA when I'm there. I just couldn't do it in this prison. It's the cursing. I can't imagine being 65 years old and going to prison and being sentenced to 25 years and thinking that's it. And yet to not be bitter when she, it was fun. She's like, I was married for 3 weeks. I don't know. She just seems so, I can only imagine the trauma baked in. You know, it's just speculation, but I feel like there's probably so much trauma baked deep inside there that that sparked the drinking. And you know, some people do bloom late, you know, when it comes to partying. People who I'm a personal believer of not to restrict to that degree because it creates problems later on. You know, like drinking has always been something that's been around my home, even way before I turned 21. And you would grow a tolerance, you would grow a respect for it, you would learn how to do it. And then when you go off, you know, off to school and stuff, you can kind of tell who was restricted and who wasn't, because the guys who or gals who were restricted, they would go crazy and then get sick. And, you know, it's not a novelty for me. Like I know what I'm doing. So I didn't have those experiences. And I think that's a good, you know, to hold someone back, it just creates a lot of problems. Just my 2.5 cents. But I don't know. I found this hearing just fascinating. And again, one of those things where I don't think if you didn't see it, you just couldn't believe it. But that's why we show it. We can learn a lot from Charlene E. Norris, and I'm rooting for her. And hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe somehow we can interview her one day. But with that, I'll let you go.